Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahleal in this incarnation, and today I wanted to talk about the process of illumination. In all videos, I explained how we all have these ego shells, these barriers that are preventing ourselves from expanding our vessel and receiving more light. And these ego shells actually are a projection because if we would receive the whole light in a moment, we would be disintegrated by that light. So, it's important to understand, and I explained this in the video of the cosmic justice, the divine justice, that everything that is happening in this plane has a purpose. And many times, this purpose is revealing by a thread of light that is conducting us to revealing the purpose of that when we are in a moment of darkness. And I did a specific video talking about how important it is to learn from the good, and when we are in a good situation to understand how we can reveal the shadow in those situations and learn from that without being in a situation of chaos. This is the yin yang symbol. In the level of total darkness, there is a point of light, a tiny point of light, and in the level of total light, there is a point of darkness. So this is something that we are always integrating. This is the integration of duality. So if we understand this, we will know that even if we are in a moment that it could be presenting us in the form of chaos or something that is not comfortable, that is part of life, many times we don't see the divine network behind that. We don't see the purpose. Many times that thing reveals years after. I'm going to give an example, but it's very important to face the process itself because, for example, a mother that loses her child, maybe that person doesn't understand the purpose in their whole life, in their whole incarnation, and she take that lesson for other one, or maybe she is capable of revealing that, but we can do not a bypass. We can do not tell ourselves, okay, I understand the purpose of this, without facing our fear, without facing the grief, the anger, the sadness. We can do bypass when we are talking about revealing light in ourselves in a moment of darkness. We really have to face everything that is showing to ourselves. And maybe if we don't understand at the moment, years later, we have this comprehension about that situation. I will share an anecdote of many years ago. It was the first time that I thought, well, maybe I am participating of my own reality. I am co-creating this. And it was like a time that I was in my darkest hours, and I was in this relationship that I was like sharing this such painful pattern that I created for myself at the time, but I didn't know it. And one day I woke up and I had a lot of bruises in my arms because I had a very tough fight the night before. So I was so sad that I talked to a friend, and this friend of mine wasn't experiencing something much better than me at that time. So this person told me something like, maybe the things that happened to ourselves in the past brought us here, and we are deciding from those patterns. And I was like, nowadays that is something completely obvious, but at that time it was like a teeny tiny light that was opening in myself. And it was the first time that I thought, okay, maybe I am participating of this. I am choosing this from a place, because if not, this suffering has no purpose at all. So that was the beginning of the whole journey. And many times we are experiencing things that we perceive from our egos that are like unfair. And it is written in the sacred scriptures. I always talk about Kabbalah, and these stories that are written many times in the sacred scriptures, we could feel that God is an unfair God, an unjust God that many times punish people for nothing. So I can understand how people that are in rejection of all of these things could feel this, because were the Kabbalists the ones who explained the divine network behind these stories, and how many times they were rectifying parts of their lives by experiencing those stories. And that was actually something that happened to myself, because these people that were karmic tides, how many people in spirituality like to call it. We had a correction, we had a rectification together, and those people helped me actually, and I brought these connections from other lives. But I knew this a lot of years later. I comprehended this a lot of years later. So many times we are not understanding at the exact moment the lattice, the network that is working behind the scenes. So I think illumination is this thread of golden light that is expanding and expanding and expanding, and one day is going to cover us all, because we cannot illuminate ourselves by a flash of light. That would disintegrate us. We wouldn't understand. We wouldn't be able to acquire this knowledge and this comprehension of the situations in our life. So that's why I think in the future we will be capable, as in the sacred scriptures, there were people that were capable of this. We will be capable of see the divine purpose, not years later, but in the exact moment that things are happening. We would understand why those things are perfect and are part of whatever is presenting to ourselves in our life. And I think, meanwhile, if we are experiencing something that is causing us pain and is uncomfortable, and we have to live in very hard emotions, I think many times doing this process takes a lot of energy and strength to do it, and I really know this. But meanwhile, we should face that with the courage, all the courage we can have at the moment, and with all the energy we have, because that process is the most important of our lives. The present moment is the most important of our lives. So we have to do that, knowing that in the future, whatever thing that we don't understand right now will be revealed to ourselves if we are open to that. And okay, I just wanted to leave this reflection today. Thank you, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.